Hello again, everybody! Zach Attack is here with my Atakline for this Monday, December 9th, 2013. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I did with three great gigs. Starting with my gig Friday night at Power Metal for the 8th grade Christmas dance, which I've done for the last 5 years. 5-year anniversary this year. It was a great show Friday at Powell. I didn't record anything, but it was a fun night, and they liked Timber. One of his popular songs was Timber by Pitbull, but they liked this Surf's Up song from this Teen Beach movie from the Disney. I thought it was going to make people walk off the floor, but a little dance routine to it. That was kind of cool. But they liked the gangster stuff as well, man. The gas pedal, and even Don't Drop That Dun 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 got requested. They went nuts for both those songs, as well as War and Wrecking Ball, as I expected. And of course, line dances kind of broke the ice. And after this line dances, that's when it went off at least an hour, and I have a great fun at Bow, and they love this. Probably the best one I've done. I've done 5 years, and I think this was the best one. Kind of a slow start, but great finish with the kids. There was no song that was a clunker. No song that cleared the floor the entire night, so I was proud of that. Then on my gig Saturday night at Jefferson Street Pub. Yes, I'm doing a non-Monday show there. I did one on Saturday for the Turning Point auction. There like a lot of auction, like it's charity auction for this foundation about abused mothers and children or whatever. And then a lot of items, and I was DJing it during the MSU game. And despite that, people love me. Country and rock were dominating the last couple of nights, and no exception here. Yeah, a lot of requests for the first hour, so I like winging it with, of course, a lot of rock and some country tossed in there, some new stuff. They always like the Blurred Lines video, especially the uncensored version with the boobies. Like every time, like we want to see the show because I always say boobies every time and the video comes on, like kind of fake saying like, "Don't look, boobies." That's why everyone's like, "We want the boobies." So that's why everyone says it when they ask for Blurred Lines. Specifically the video. So it was better than the last couple Mondays. We'll see how tonight's show at Jefferson goes. But before that, we had yesterday's show as well at Lanny Mills Restaurant. It was a event for the country cruisers. And a lot of older folks. I hear the name of some Beach Boys songs, and they like the older the better. Like songs like Beach Boys and some old country and some doo-wop and all that. So they enjoyed watching the videos. There's not a lot of dancers. It was more like a get together. It wasn't a dance. It was like a dinner gala, and they raised money for people, and they kind of a good charity as well. Like they're a cruise group, like a car enthusiast group, but they donate money to people. They had like a little meeting to vote on. It was like the saddest stories. It was like watching the audition process for American Idol sometimes about all the sad stories. Because American Idol is all full of sob stories, and you heard all these sad stories about being put up to be considered to be given money to. Like, I'm not going to delve into them, but it's just sad. And I'm glad these people are very nice people and very thoughtful people. They like to have the fun with the cruises, but they do like a lot of charity work, so it's kind of cool. And I do a lot of charity things too at St. Baldrick's and a lot of other charity things, so I'm happy to be involved in them. Hope to do this thing next year. It was a decent vibe, though. Laid back vibe, but it was a decent vibe, and they enjoyed the show last night at Lenny Miller's. Like I said, tonight, it's Jefferson Street. Friday, Wilkinson Middle School for the 8th grade dance, for their Christmas dance. So see what happens there. So it's be a good week for me. Now, with the entertainment news, starting with your #1 movie in America this week. Well, a 3-week reign, at least a 2-week reign, of the Hunger Games. Catching Fire is over. Frozen kicks it off after being stuck at #2 last week. Pun the pun. Get it, Frozen? Stuck, #2. Ba-dum-bum. Waka waka. Frozen's #1. So, I don't think they have much competition this week, so maybe it'll last another week. Until at least next week, when we got Anchorman coming out, American Hustle, and another big movie's coming out next week as well. Forgot the movie though. Dang it! Besides Anchorman 2 and American Hustle, forgot what movie's coming out. Oh, Saving Mr. Banks, the Mary Poppins story. With Tom Hanks playing Walt Disney. A lot of movies coming out next week. Big competition next week. This week, I don't know. And besides that, with the other big or at least some music news today. It's been rumored for weeks, last couple of months especially, weeks and months, that Garth Brooks may be heading back on the road next year. Ever since he ended his Vegas stint 2 weeks ago, of course, he said that he may come back on the road. There's been rumors for the last couple of years, years as a matter of fact, going back a ways, that people have been saying about Garth Brooks doing his Vegas stint and going back on the road next year when his youngest daughter graduates from high school. And Garth's been kind of coy about it for the last couple of weeks as he's been promoting the last Vegas show, and of course the box set that came with it, Blaming All My Roots. He's been kind of shy about it, silent about it, but now today on Good Morning America, he kind of blurted out that he is touring next year, that he is going on a world tour next year. No tour date's announced yet, but he's saying the specific details will be announced shortly. He's going to announce it to radio this week, so maybe next week we'll get the full tour dates. But as you know now, Garth Brooks is touring. I've been a fan of his music ever since I was a child. You know, I was singing Friends in Low Places karaoke when I was like 6. Not even know what the fuck the song was about when I was 6 years old. But and my brother played the hell out of his greatest hits album, specifically Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Goes Up. That was both our favorite songs. And Friends in Low Places as well, so I like this music since I was a kid. I hope to see him in concert in Detroit, or maybe out of state if it's on a gig day. So there you go. Garth Brooks is touring next year. Details to follow. Now on with news on a woman, Susan Boyle. Now, for those of you who have only been watching my show, watching my videos for the last few months, and not been catching up on my videos since 2011, who haven't seen any of my previous videos last couple of years, 2 years ago I made only one video about people making fun of me, and I do see people commenting sometimes. And for those of you who don't know, who didn't watch the video I made in 2011 about it, I have Asperger's syndrome, which is a slight form of autism. It's like I said, it's a slight case of autism with like difficulty communicating sometimes, and it makes me kind of inspired to know that Susan Boyle has Asperger's syndrome. Susan Boyle announced today that she's been diagnosed with it, and she's had mental problems for years, like breaking down and stuff, and having trouble communicating, but never really know what it was. But that was holding her up. You know, she's had, you know, she's been bullied and not knowing what it was about, like having difficulties with things. And I feel inspired, especially by this quote right here from an interview that she revealed this. That she said, Asperger's doesn't define me. It's a condition that I have to live with and work through, but I feel relaxed about myself. People will have a great understanding of who I am and why I do the things I do. And I do the things I do. And to see someone like Susan Boyle have Asperger's syndrome, a woman like that who's had tremendous success, despite her condition, you know, being a big success on the X Factor in UK with that big voice. I've seen clips of her. And I feel inspired that someone like that has what I have, and that it can have success with Asperger's syndrome. It's like a role model for myself that I have Asperger's syndrome, and I'm being successful as a disc jockey in my area despite my condition. They're proving that no matter what, that Asperger's doesn't define me as well. Like Susan Boyle says that Asperger's doesn't define her, it doesn't define me either. Now a lot of people know that I have Asperger's, and I'm glad they don't, because if some people did know, unless they know now, you know, if people knew about it before I said it now, they would be more sorry for me, or be more sympathetic for me. Especially when I kind of lash out, when I have mental breakdowns sometimes, like Susan did too. You know, I have tantrums, but it's because of that little Asperger's in my head. So, there you go. I kind of feel inspired. So thank you, Susan Boyle, for coming out with that and announcing that to the public that you have Asperger's symptoms like I do. Making people like me feel more confident about themselves, about achieving things, and doing things you want to do no matter what happens. And no matter what it doesn't matter what condition you have, it doesn't matter if you have Asperger's or not, you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. And she's a staple of that. She's an example of what happens when you think about it, go for it, no matter what. So, as an Asperger's syndrome person myself, I feel inspired by Susan Boyle. So, Susan Boyle, you want yourself a new fan. by coming up with that. So thank you very much, Susan. Very inspired by you. All right, that is it for the Atakline for today. See you all later with that in mind. You've all been attacked by the news from Zach. And like I said, Asperger's where I talk. Asperger's is the reason why I talk like this as well. Just want to let you know that. Thank you all very much for watching. See you all later, everybody. Yeah.